Hey gang, want to do a video on I guess why I carry knives and why I carry a knife. Get that question a lot from friends of mine and people. They say why do you have so many pocket knives, and why do you carry a knife? What do you use a knife for? And it's simple as the answer sounds. Really just the utility of having a knife on you is only really observed if you carry a knife. Again, as weird as that sounds, not having a knife on you, your chances that you would need one, I don't think they lessen, so to speak, but having one on you, it makes just, everyday utilitarian tasks easier. You can get things accomplished quicker that you otherwise would need to search for a pair of scissors, or look for a knife in a drawer, or maybe you're in the kitchen and you don't want to walk across the kitchen to get whatever knife out of the drawer to cut something. It's just ease of use and utility. Realistically, what it boils down to for me. Now, sometimes you might carry a bigger knife on you, and a larger knife might not always be required. Sometimes a small knife, will do as much as do the job for any everyday task that you have, or maybe sometimes you want a larger knife. For whatever reason, the functionality of the blade itself, one of man's oldest tools, it's prevalent in the way that when you have it on you, you will use it. And I kind of tell that to people when they start getting a knife, and it sounds idiotic, but I said it to my dad the other day, and we got him a Spyderco Salt. Now and again, he's not really into knives, loves building stuff, loves doing things with his hands, and he's like, you're right. He's like, I carry the knife in my pocket, and I find myself using it all the time. And if you didn't have it on you, you, like I said, you would be going in other directions or looking for other things to potentially accomplish, whatever cutting task or chore you're trying to do. Maybe again cutting, or maybe you're prying, or getting a small item out of an area that you'd need like a delicate blade or a thin strong piece of metal to do so. It's just nice having that on you and just being prepared for whatever the case may be. A lot of people will carry cadet, or a farmer, and this may be all the knife you need. And in addition to that, you got a bunch of cool little nail file and bottle opener. So getting utility out of that, it's fantastic. Some people like a quicker opening style blade. Maybe need a one-handed deployment. People ask like, oh, why do you need a knife that opens one hand? Half the time I use my knife, my other hand is holding something. It's maybe it's a package, maybe I'm pushing something in place that I need to cut. Whatever it is, I like having a knife that I can easily open and close with one hand. And I'll still probably carry this with me in combination with another knife, but just being prepared and being ready for the situation. It's just like also carrying a flashlight on you. It's just a peace of mind for myself, and I know I'm not going to have to worry about accomplishing and taking care of something that I couldn't have if I didn't have that knife on me. So whenever I'm able to, I typically do have a knife on me. And functionality, use aside, I also just like having knives. It's something that brings me enjoyment. I like carrying knives. I like playing with it. It's fun to kind of flick these things open and close all day. Keep your hands busy. Maybe you're chatting on the phone, or you're working on something. It's just something to keep those fine motor skills going and keep me entertained while I'm just chilling or sitting at my desk or whatever. So collection wise, people collect the weirdest things. A lot of people collect knives, at least knives. Again, a knife, in my opinion, has some function to it, as opposed to, I don't know, like empty perfume bottles. I have aunts that have the third largest empty perfume bottle collection, like in America, and I think it's idiotic. But again, that's a collection. That's what they're into. Whatever you collect, maybe it's stamps, maybe it's football helmets, maybe it's soccer jerseys, whatever it is. A collection brings you enjoyment. And I was reading an article and they say collecting derives from a kind of like a primitive form of hunting and gathering. Finding multiples of the same item was part of our survival. So technically it's a old survival instinct. At least the article I read about it. But again, it's something that makes me happy. It's something that I can use. Firearms, that's something I also collected, but I kind of hindered my firearm collecting because I really didn't use them as much. Going to the range is one thing. Watches, another thing I love taking with me because not only is it cool and it's something I like, but it's also functional. Knife's functional, watches are functional, flashlights are functional, and collectible, totally fun, bring me enjoyment, all the above. So, anything that I guess makes you happy, that it's not harming anyone else, and monetarily speaking, you're not buying knives instead of paying your mortgage. Go for it. But if you're saying, hey, do I need a pocket knife? I would say you wouldn't know you needed a pocket knife until you started carrying a pocket knife. So, maybe think I'm wrong. Call whatever you want it to be, but that's just kind of how I feel on the subject. And pretty much everybody that I interact with on a personal basis, I try to, I'll mention, this is my knife, and I won't say like you should have a knife too, but if they ask me about mine, I'm more than happy to give my opinion, and half the time I convince them to grab one, and then they generally come back and they say, yeah, glad I have a knife on me. It's as silly as it sounds. You have it on you, you'll use it. The older you are, the longer you'll live. Both statistics are pretty true. So, I don't know. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.